Okay, so y'all are gonna be mad at me, but I still haven't gotten a black and white base set binder. But when I do, don't worry. These cards will get their time and I will slot them away properly into their permanent resting place. But I do still have 4 binders to get into. A lot of talking points, not a ton of cards to put away, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. So please let me know how you guys have been. I've been just fine, fully recovered from New Year's, and I'm ready to get right into this. So we do have our little signature binder. And I do have one card from, this has a family member's face on it, so that's why it's concealed. But this is exactly where this one will go, which is very exciting. But first off, I haven't really played the Scarlet and Violet DLC in a while, but I am pretty much complete with the decks besides the 2 new Pokemon exclusives that you'd have to trade your exclusives to get. I mean, I guess I could do it, and hopefully the person that I trade it to trades them back just for decks completion, because I don't know what the reward is for completing the final decks. But I haven't done that yet. I'm just hoping that they come out in raids. But speaking of the new Pokemon, I'll try to like show a photo or something like that. But let me know, do you hate all the new Pokemon? Do you like them all? Do you have a favorite? My favorite probably would be, I love that I got Scarlet that has all the ancient Pokemon, because I just think the ancient Paradox Pokemon looks so much better. I guess I would have to give it to, what is it, Raging Thunder, I think. It's the Raikou ancient variant. I just think the design was so silly, and I just kind of love it. But let me know what your newest Pokemon that was introduced in the DLC was. That is the Indigo Disc DLC. I do like turtle Pokemon, so Terapagos is also a really cool Pokemon as well. It's pretty cute. Also, already talked about the mail that I got from, actually, that's what I just put away in this binder, but this person also sent me a list of song recommendations, which I love because song recommendations are my favorite thing. So I was able to go through all those and add some more songs to my playlist, which was really exciting. I really enjoy doing that. So, and also today at the time of filming this, I did just release my top 15 pulls of the year. Obviously, they're not the most popular videos, but I do like them as kind of a point of reference, so I can kind of go back throughout the years and see, oh, these are my top pulls this year. These are my top pulls that year. And I do some silly stuff in those videos, so it's kind of a cool like collage. Let's get into the next binder. I guess we'll do the Kirlia binder next. Ooh, the Kirlia binder, nice. This is super exciting. So Jujutsu Kaisen, its final episode of the part. They're now on hiatus until, you know, sometime later this year, I hope. Maybe not until 2025, I have no idea. But the final episode, it built up a lot. Like, it has you looking forward to what's going to happen next. But the episode itself, because all the previous episodes were so action-packed, and there is the former Kirlia Shiny and Hidden Fates, which I just think that's a better artwork, but, you know, that's fine. But it just wasn't the most exciting episode. Like, compared to all the previous ones, it just wasn't that exciting. So now I'm going to have to find something else to fill that void. Yeah, I'm going to have to start picking up some extra shows because, yeah, I do not have a ton of shows at the moment. So this one I actually already pulled in my booster box, so I don't need this one in there. So that'll just be a part of some potentially signed cards or something. And then I get to add these, the Reverse Holo and the Shiny Kirlia, which are just magnificent. Love adding those into the collection. And dang, this Kirlia binder, I might have to get like a 4 or a normal 9 pocket binder just to take all these Kirlias in. Also, for Duolingo, I ended my streak. I think my final streak ended up being 625 days. I was just kind of tired of it. I have different goals for this year, which I'll talk about later. And they just don't include Duolingo. I just kind of got burnt out on it. And I just felt like such a chore doing it every single day. And if I'm like learning or doing something, like I don't want it to feel like that. So sorry, Duolingo. It's been real. I canceled my membership. So, I mean, I can still do it. It's just I'm not paying for the premium anymore. So the next part is the Vegas trip. So I had a blast in Vegas. I've been to Vegas. This is probably like my 6th or 7th time to Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada, that is. But this is the first time, so this is the 2nd time that I've went when I've been of drinking age. And this is the first time I've ever gone there and didn't touch the strip at all, which I was very surprised about. We linked up with some good friends there. They're from there. They're not about the strip, obviously, because they're freaking local and grew up there. However, you know, myself and the other couple, when we all linked up, of course, you know, we're wanting to get frisky, have some fun, you know, that's when you're in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But we started out going out to a really wholesome diner. It's like a blueberry something diner that was near our Airbnb, and it was a great time. Mystery actually really liked the mugs there because they were very thick, so they insulate the coffee and the warmth a lot better. She's like a coffee fanatic. I like drink coffee on occasion or when I'm traveling or whatever. But she's like, oh, I want this mug. And then our waitress came by and just gave us a free mug. Like she said it cost like $7 and change, and she just came over and like wrapped it up and like sneakily gave it to her and was like, "Merry Christmas." And we're like, "Oh my goodness." So naturally, what do? I go a freaking fine ATM and make sure I give that fat tip, because that's how you get it right there. I'm not saying if you work somewhere it is to be giving out a bunch of free stuff, but obviously you can tell she has some tenure at this establishment and she was just having fun. It's that time of year. You just do things like that. So, and of course, you're just going to keep, it's like you keep passing it forward basically. So it was a very nice experience. Our Airbnb overall, probably should have shown some photos as I'm talking about these things. Our Airbnb overall was fairly nice. There was a total of 6 of us. We all had our own rooms and all that stuff. So, you know, everyone could have their privacy, but then we had a nice like common area. This would have been a really cool spot like in the summertime because they have a pool, they have like 2 grills and like all this stuff. But because it's wintertime, it wasn't as appetizing to like go and hang out outside. So we did majority of our stuff inside. Did end up watching Scream 6. So it's like those horror like slasher films, which it was pretty corny, but I haven't seen a Scream movie since I think like Scream 2. So it was kind of, it was actually pretty funny. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm really surprised this isn't like in the comedy category, but you know, it was nice. They do a lot of like nostalgic like stuff. So if you've seen all the Screams, let me know if you're like really into horror films. I'm not into horror films. Wasn't really that scary. Of course, are there a few jump scares? Yeah, but it was very silly, but it was kind of fun to watch. We did do an escape room. So I think, what was it called? Like it was within the town square. They had like an escape room thing, and they had like a whole bunch of escape rooms in this one. It was like Escapology or something like that. I can't remember. If you're like from Vegas or you've been there, you might be aware of it. We did one where it was like based off of you having a hangover and needing to find the key to like a locker to get your rings or something like that. And so we actually ended up beating it. There was just 4 of us for this one, but we actually ended up beating it with like 6 minutes to spare because you have an hour long. There was 3 rooms to it, which I've only done escape rooms that had 2 rooms. So the 3-room part, I thought we were done, and then a whole final room was there, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a long one. So we were successful in that, and to be honest, Mystery was a freaking MVP. Like, she's just really good at like noticing all those little things and everything, and yeah, she like led us through. If she wasn't there, we probably wouldn't have finished. So that was kind of cool to finish that. Let me know if you've ever done an escape room. We did go to a comedy club. So I forget what this comedy club was called. I think it was, I can't remember. But we went there. We watched all the opening acts. They were all funny. And I think the headliner was Irene 2, I want to say. And she was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. At this point, Mystery was feeling pretty good. Actually, we were all feeling pretty good. So, you know, we were just trying to stay alive, basically. But it was a really good time. Had a good laugh. We were like the first ones at the comedy club because where we ended up eating dinner, it was like right next to it. So we just walked in and did that whole thing. So yeah, so of course we were in the front row, but it wasn't like one of the ones where like there's like heckling or like crowd work or anything. Like they have their stand up and they're going through it and all that stuff. There might be a little bit of crowd interaction, but nothing too crazy. I know a lot of stuff that's out there. There's like crowd interaction and everything. Did go to Fremont, which is, I guess, technically just north of the Strip, which, I mean, if you want to count that, then sure. But we did want to at least get some of that type of action and gamble a little bit. Because, you know, when in Vegas, might as well gamble. I haven't gambled in a few years, and I do enjoy it. Mainly just play like card games. Not huge into slots, but we only really, we had our set amount. So you take out a set amount. Give, you know, you distribute the money, and it's like, this is your play money. If you lose it, it's perfectly fine. If you make more, then awesome. Of course, we ended up losing, I think, like 75% of it. I lost all of my portion, and then Mystery kept a little bit of her portion. But overall, we had fun. We played blackjack, a little bit of roulette, and then we also I did play a little bit of slots, and then there was like this roulette. There's like the roulette on the computer, which I guess sometimes being like at a regular roulette table can be kind of stressful. So doing it on the computer was like a little bit more fun. But I don't know, card games to me are just always more fun because you feel like you're in control, even though, you know, the odds are always still against you. But just like guessing games, like on roulette and stuff, it's not as fun. I know there's probably like techniques and stuff to it, but I am not privy to those techniques. And, you know, we just ended up playing card games the whole time. So that was kind of fun. And look at that Pikachu chilling right there. Very nice card to add to the collection. But so yeah, we gambled a little bit, lost 75% of the money. That's a pretty normal story of Vegas. So don't go thinking you're going to go there and, you know, land it big. And that's one of the biggest pitfalls. If you ever do gamble, which I don't recommend it, it's not, you know, very wise to do that with your money, but it can be fun. Just like I don't recommend that you drink or anything like that. All it takes is one amazing experience gambling, and that will hook you. I'm telling you, that will hook you. But in the long run, the house always wins. That's why they say it that way. Our destination for New Year's Eve was, it was like a fairly new open club, completely off the strip. And actually, speaking of Infernal Fandango, I think it might have been called the Fandango. So it's a really nice place, but you could tell that their staffing just wasn't ready for what was happening that night, because we were promised drinks and food, and like the wait for drinks was ridiculous. I mean, our tickets were pretty hefty per person, but the drinks and food were... The drinks took forever to get, and the food, I didn't even get a lick of appetizer. And they said unlimited appetizers, unlimited food. And we got there like right when it opened. It was already completely packed, and all we did was get drinks. So yeah, we just kept drinking, having a good time. The music was I called it very safe music. It's just the club, the beat that like keeps you going. But, you know, I want it to be a little bit more risky, you know, like the songs, or it's like the song in its purest form, or like some live music, and then you can sing along and like all that stuff. I get it. It would probably make people too rowdy, and people might do some crazy things. If you just kind of have tame, just music, it's just like a vibe, I guess. But I don't know. I've done New Year's at a club, I think in DC, and they had a live cover band, and they were just covering like, you know, amazing 90s and early 2000s songs, and that was just like the perfect vibe. And yeah, I'm still searching for that New Year's experience. So funny enough, the New Year's like Eve portion, like the only planned portion of the entire trip was probably my least favorite part. But overall, it was still good to hang out with friends and all that stuff, and it was a good time. That night though, we go back to our Airbnb. They have a karaoke system, so of course we did some karaoke. I do love to sing and dance. Of course, if you've seen any of my videos, I do love to do all those things. I love music. And so I wasn't planning on singing anything because Mystery was like already like slumped, so she passed out. And then the other couples were there. And then eventually everyone started slumping out. But the first song that they gave me, I didn't pick any of my songs. But they gave me, or actually I picked one. But they gave me Panic at the Disco, Rewrite Sins, Not Tragedies, which of course everybody knows that song. So sang that. And then there's one, it's like a comedy song. So don't take it too seriously. You know, it's kind of profane. But if you end up looking up, or if you know it already, you know, it made me laugh in high school, but it's Everyday Normal Guy 2 by some Canadian guy. I think his name is like John LaJolie or LaHoye or something like that. Really funny song, but, you know, it's for like my immature stage. But I know one of my buddies that was there would have really appreciated it, so I did it. And of course, no one else knew the song, so it was kind of funny. I can't remember what the other songs were. But the drive to Las Vegas, it was like 4.5 hours there. And then on the way back, it ended up being like 6.5 hours. It was just, yeah, not very fun. So maybe we'll just fly in the future. I don't know, but it is fairly close living in LA. I did end up taking a sick day today, so because we got back late last night, and then I woke up this morning to like go to the gym, and I thought about, oh, you know, New Year's resolution people and all that stuff. Even though since I took a sick day, I ended up just going to the gym at the middle of the day anyway. But I was just like back and forth in my bed for so long, and then I just called in sick. So yeah. I just feel like the sick days, while they're limited, like you want to use them for days that you truly just want rest. And I feel like today was the perfect day. I mean, the second, right after partying, is probably a good day to use it. And then the college football playoffs. So yeah, if you care about American football at all, the college football playoff games were crazy. It was, what was it? It was Texas versus Washington? No. Yeah, Texas versus Washington, amazing game. And then Alabama versus Michigan, another amazing game. If at a minimum, just watch the highlights. They're great games. If you know you're into those games at all, let me know who you're pulling for in the championship, because yeah, it was a great time. My goodness. And then finally, my New Year's resolutions. I know this video has been so long, so I don't blame you if you don't hear me out on this. But if you have any New Year's resolutions, let me know. Mine is, I was able to accomplish my resolutions from last year except for 2. I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I stayed exactly the same weight. I wanted to hit 2,500 subs on YouTube. Obviously, I didn't reach that. Completely fine. I just kind of put a number out there just as the next milestone. But yeah, my new New Year's resolutions are still losing that 10 pounds, but I'm going to make some adjustments or whatever so I can hopefully reach it by the summer and then maintain it for the rest of the year. 2,500 subs, I think, is doable. I think getting, around 900 subs this year, I think is definitely achievable. I want to read 6 books this year. I didn't read any books last year, so I would like to read at least 6, so that's one every 2 months. I don't think that's too hard to ask for. 3 I'll be choosing, and then 3 Mystery will be recommending to me, and I'll read those as well. Unfortunately, the one that I started reading last year that I never finished is Friday Night Lights, which is like an American football, like high school book. And apparently a lot of people read it in high school, like for their literature classes. I never read it, but I love the movie. And I guess there's like a TV show or something too. I've never seen the TV show, but I love the movie and I've been reading that so far. So that'll probably be the first book I read. And then the rest I'm probably going to try to read a series because those are way more fun to read for me. As far as Pokemon collecting goes, I'm going to try to complete all the sets that came out in 2023. So I think it's like 5 sets, 4 core sets, and then the 1 specialty set, since I already technically got Crown Zenith complete. So I'm going to try to complete all the 2023 sets. So I think for the Scarlet and Violet block, I'm just going to collect everything a year behind. And I think that'll help with like prices settling and everything too, because buying everything at release, you're just going to overpay. So I don't mind waiting. So that's why I'm focusing on like Scarlet and Violet base right now. And then, you know, I'll pick up the rest as the year goes on. And yeah, that is pretty much all I have for this video. I know this was a long one. I had a lot of talking and not a ton of cards to put away, but let me know what you have going on. If you have any plans for this year, if you have any new, you know, resolutions or goals or anything like that. I know some people think it's silly to like tie it to a new year. Of course, you can start new things and new goals whenever, but you know, it's just a nice like time block. Like, oh, year's ended. Let's start something new, you know? So, oh, and the other one, final resolution, is I want to learn 3 new like partner dances with Mystery, because Mystery hates dancing, but she's down to do partner dancing. And we got married kind of, our marriage wasn't like a big, you know, $10,000, $20,000 like mega event. We just went, got married, and then did our thing. So we never did like, you know, our dance and all that stuff. So we were never forced to like learn to partner dance. So I think it'd be nice to at least learn 3 different dances with her this year. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I know, once again, nothing crazy or probably something that you care about, but let me know what you have going on. I'm always curious what you have going on. I know I say it all the time, so it makes it seems like I don't, but I keep asking because I do. And anyone that's ever commented or hit me up on Discord or email knows that I'll follow up. You know, it might not be like immediate instant message, but I will follow up. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your new year was great, and I hope this year brings you many great things. Thank you.